if I had to name the single person who has done more digging into China's, and by China, I mean the Communist Party of China and their attempt to interfere in our democracy. If I had to name the number one journalist in the country, it would be our guest today, Andy Lee, who has an uncanny ability to follow the money, to follow the social media, including deep into social media apps that most of us don't know anything about. They're Chinese social media. Joining us now is our friend Andy Lee. Andy, I'm heaping praise on you, but it's not just to puff you up. You are an indispensable read. I follow you closely on Twitter. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. It's been a while and a lot's gone on.
Everything you've said has borne fruit. Everything you warned about has come true. If you're like me, you hate saying, I told you so, because you've always been warning us of bad things.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a nice time to say I told you so, unfortunately, because, a lot of people were hoping that certain people would be exonerated of some serious accusations during the inquiry. And that happened to a degree when we had Justin Trudeau's special rapporteur, David Johnston. He said some things that exonerated some individuals who were named specifically by Sam Cooper and the Bureau, that being that Han Dong, had a hand in foreign interference, and that we have these at least 11 candidates in the GTA alone that seemed to have been the beneficiary of foreign interference from the People's Republic of China. So unfortunately, that inquiry didn't seem to go deep enough. We don't know if David Johnston saw the same files that were released in the recent report by the NSI cop. So we don't know if he saw the same documents or if he saw a sanitized version of documents. And he also said that he had time constraints. So maybe he didn't view the same information, but two vastly different reports surfaced in whatever event. The most recent one was very, very firm that, yes, these allegations, there was definitely substance behind them, and this was brought up. So that's kind of where we're at now, is trying to reconcile, well, how are people coming to different conclusions? And we saw that by party leaders. The other day we had Elizabeth May saying that she wasn't concerned at all, and then we had Jagmeet Singh come up and say something totally different, and he felt that somebody should be charged with treason and that Han Dong should not be allowed to rejoin the caucus. So there's a lot going on, and we don't get to see the documents, right. Which is really, really important for us to do the digging ourselves. Sometimes retroactively, you can go back and find the things that weren't detailed in the reports, and we've done that a number of times. Yeah. We did that, and Rebel News published that when Michael Chong was targeted, and they said that there was no evidence. They suspected it was a PRC state-sponsored campaign, but we actually went into WeChat and we found the exact actors and traced it directly back to the PRC.
And WeChat is one of those Chinese social media that I think most Canadians don't know anything about. It's amazing you can navigate them. I want to push pause on you for 1 second, Andy, because you said so many things, because you're in the center of it. But I just want to recap for some of our viewers who are maybe more casual followers. Your reference to David Johnston is he was the hand-picked cleanup crew that Trudeau said, oh, he'll look into these interference accusations and get to the bottom of it. And he gave an all clear. It was only when the, I suppose, deep state of Canada's security intelligence services said, that's insane, we've got to leak the truth, that this committee was struck to look into it. And there's been shocking allegations, and you're referring to a report that has not yet been released. And so we have this strange situation where we have to rely on other people reading the report and interpreting it. And Elizabeth May says there's nothing to worry about. Jagmeet Singh says there's traitors. Trudeau's pretty mum on it. I just wanted to, am I accurate in sort of summarizing how this story has gone from nothing to cover up to holy moly, there's a lot there?
Yeah, well, I think it was always cover up, and a lot of people tried to discredit the reporting that came out and discredit the CSIS leaks. And we've heard this all along, that, intelligence is not evidence and it was just information gathering and they're not substantiated. Well, now these claims are looking fairly substantiated. So somebody's been vindicated. It certainly hasn't been Han Dong, that's for sure. Good for Sam Cooper for sticking to his guns. Of course, he's got these lawsuits against him for his reporting, unfortunately. It was really disappointing to see people and also other journalists turn against one of their own.
Oh, did they do? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was ostracized, and again, a lot of people tried to downplay the information and say that, it was just a memo, and then it wasn't something that was seen, or it was something that was maybe not seen by the right people, or it was something that was not taken seriously. Um, so I wanted to expand, and I wanted to give him even more firepower, specifically about the allegations on Han Dong, and given that he has this lawsuit against him. And so one of the allegations that we've heard is that we had foreign international students who were bussed into Han Dong's riding to vote for him in his Liberal nomination contest, and that they weren't from his riding, and that perhaps they were directed to do this by the consulate. But again, that's very vague, right? There's no details. So what we did is we went and we found the actual academy. And when I say we, I say the people like me, and I have several people who help me as well. We go into WeChat, we look for the exact details. So we did find details on that academy. It was called the NOAC Academy. It used to be New Oriental International College. It's based in Markham. But when you really dig into it, it's got very, very close ties to the People's Republic of China and officials in China. They go to, events hosted by Tencent and things like that. And so this was the academy, one of the places that bussed the students in. They've got reviews from the consulate right on their website. And the other fascinating thing about this particular academy is that Justin Trudeau himself has visited there, and he's invited them to several events.
What are the odds?
So, and Han Dong has been there. A lot of the Liberal Party have been there. So, there was a briefing somewhere that said, hold on, we think that this academy has assisted this candidate in doing something that's illegal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's breaking election rules. You can't just get students to go vote in whatever riding they want in a Liberal nomination contest. So at some point, and they would have known what academy it was, and they would have known that it was the academy that they all visited, the NOAC Academy. So that was something fantastic that we've been working on, and I was so glad that that came up. And especially, that the Prime Minister is aware of this academy. So I can't say who saw the briefing, but somebody definitely saw it, saw that this was the academy that was implicated, and decided that this was a nothing burger. Knew the people, he knows the CEO, and decided that this wasn't important, and discounted it and allowed him to run and didn't exclude him from the nomination contest.